Hello, everybody. We're starting slightly early because you know what time it is. It's CPI time. Let's get straight into it. Here we go, guys. Woo! My goodness. We're refreshing like crazy people. But what we will do is we'll have to watch all of the markets and we'll get them up right now for you. Let's get up some of the big ones. We'll get the big Kahuna Gold. We'll get the big dollar index. There's the dollar index. There's the US 500. There's the US 100. And we've got 10 seconds to spare. So here we go. We're about to get into it. We'll get down the 5 minutes, 5-minute charts, and boom. Wow. So gold instantly spikes up there. You can see we won't have the result here for a couple of seconds on the stream. Market does seem to like it initially. Dollar index tanking 92.51. Now, these aren't huge moves off that number, but I did need to get started straight away. Let me go to the CPI website. And it's useless as per usual. Okay, here we go. Where are we? Why is this thing so useless? Someone tell me in the chat. Is it 0.3%? 0.3%? I think it's 0.3%. Basically, yeah, 0.3% on expectation or just underneath. And then 0.1%. So the market will sort itself out here. It's inconsequential, not big enough data to really push either way. It's just going to do whatever it feels like doing regardless. It's not one of those, oh my goodness, it's so crazy results. Yes, 0.3%. Thank you very much. Dropping that like, D__G. Appreciate it. So we've got some initial bullish momentum coming in the markets. I don't think this result, I mean, obviously they'll look into it a little bit more than we will today. Let me have a look. Let me click on the button here. Okay, I'm bringing it in. There we go. So what have we got here? Bring them across. Let's take a look here. What happened? August. Used cars going down as per expectation. That is not a surprise. Not a surprise at all. That was ridiculous over here. New vehicles, still pretty strong, but a little bit worse. Energy, consistently high, which we knew it probably would be. Food, where's my food? Food, okay, 0.4. Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? When you see a result like this, you're like, I mean, maybe some better economists than me will be able to break it down and they'll look through it and they'll be like, look, you know, oh, so important, this and that. And this is why the market does this and that. When I see a result like this, I just go, okay, let's just keep watching that price action. And we've got a lot to discuss here in the price action because we have our favorite candle. Can anyone tell me what candle is the most important that we'll be looking at over the next 24 hours, guys? Can you see it? Everyone that's been watching the chat, that's been looking for a long time at what we talk about all the time, should be able to figure out the candle that we care about. Lieutenant Dan says shelter number will spike next month. Someone says they cooked the numbers, man. It's very possible. And then Bradley B has it. So does Anil Benji Doji. That's right. Long-legged Doji. We've had them on the markets now. There is the long-legged Doji. We have the high. We have the low. We have the indecision at the perfect point right around that 20 moving average. So look, the market sees this as, I guess, you know what we say about slightly bad news? Slightly bad news is good news because it means that the Fed might have to wait a little while on the tapering. That's always the way that the market initially interprets it. I'm not so convinced that the market will do anything different on that result. Okay, guys? I think it was always going to do whatever it's going to do right now. It's not enough to really change the game. Maybe if we have a crazy economist out there, they can give us their insights. But overall, I'm looking for a closure either way. We get above, back to the same high, if not new highs for the month, and a closure below, of course, further weakness, 50 exponential moving average. And this is the same for the S&P 500. Now, I want to discuss S&P 500 because it's, again, testing the key 4490 coming into the resistance here. just like it was in the previous sessions. Now, let's just quickly think about this for a minute. We've got the trifecta of interesting bits of information. Let's see if anyone in the chat can figure out the trifecta. So I'll give you number one. We have the witching, the quadruple witching. So it's Spooky Friday this Friday. If anyone doesn't know what that is, it's basically when all of the options expire at once and it creates a very fun day of random price action and manipulation. So we love the quad witching. Well, we don't really, but we certainly do watch the quad witching. So that's number one. We've got number one. The other thing is that, of course, we're under the 20 EMA and we're in September. Okay, so we're in September, which is historically weaker month, and we're under the 20 EMA. But the third one, and possibly the most important one that's been happening recently that no one will guess, is what date is it right now? Let me just quickly scroll down here for everybody. The 14th of September. What happens around the 14th to the 16th of September? What tends to happen around this period? Let's have a look through the previous market drop-offs. 13th, 16th, down. 13th, 14th, down. 14th, 15th, down. You get the point. It's been fairly consistent. Look, some smart boffins out there have been talking about this for a while. We've certainly been discussing it for the last couple of months. And it has tended to coincide, of course, with the third week of options, that expiration. We are getting that weakness. So this is something that we need to also think about. We've got the trifecta of different things. The price action currently underneath the 20, which is bearish. However, the overall arching main optimism is still bullish until we're underneath the 50 exponential moving average. When you close underneath this, we're talking a different game. But while you're above the 50 exponential moving average, what can you do? You have to say overall bullish, and you're more looking at just little levels of interest to show you that the market actually wants to go long, or of course, if it wants to go short. We're at 44.90 coming into the open. This is where we expected to be. This is where we always expect to find that sneaky business. Remember yesterday? A little bit higher, boom, straight back down. For some people, they might even be looking at this as a little inverse head and shoulders in the small time frame. So do not discount this level. We close above all this funny business here, the 50 exponential on the 2 hour, the 200, the 4,500, and then we pull back. There's a good chance that at this point, actually, the market continues to rally. We are at a critical point. That's how I look at it. What do you guys think? What do you think? Chris Smith says, yes, the third week of options is why 14th is volatile. That's correct. That's correct. Plus, it's just a good excuse. Shizzy Wiznut says, Tom, thoughts on the SEC Gary Gensler to discuss the agency plan to regulate crypto today? My thoughts are, look, I mean, let's get back on the camera here. I'll tell you what. How about that nastiness that happened over and yesterday on Litecoin? Wow, that was insane. We talked about it here on the stream. I thought it was weird. But look at what happened. Litecoin went up, hit that level. It gets that regulation discussion happening more and more and more. And I think eventually it will. I think it's going to happen in the US. Now, I don't think of it as negative long-term, but it is negative short-term for some people in the way they think about it. Main reason is because people think that regulation is bad. I tend to think regulation is going to bring, it is bad in some ways, but it's going to bring massive amounts of capital into the Bitcoin and crypto markets. Remember, if all the big funds invested 0.5% or 0.2% or 1% of their alternative funds into Bitcoin, it would actually increase the price quite a lot. The upper deck's $2. Tom with Fire Blue. Tom with the fire. Blue thoughts. Thank you. So blue is the code we're looking at. Again, resistance found by US 500 and US 100 coming into our zone again into the open. It is game day for these indices. We'll have to find out how they end up trading. Be very careful around this zone. This is the area where the bears will try to fight back, as we know they will try. Okay, let's do blue. And we've got one other one, and then we'll get into our normal show. We'll talk about gold. We'll talk about the dollar index. We'll talk about, of course, crypto. We'll talk about the stocks that you guys care about quite a lot. This stock looks wild. It's up, down, and all around. Nice closure at the end. Strong move. I assume either news, takeover, some kind of Wall Street bets type of thing. That is a good close, though. It's above all the previous closes. That tends to look relatively bullish in terms of the recovery. Don't be expecting, though, that the market can't turn and then go bullish on these types of ones. You don't just think it goes chunk, 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 and then it goes all the way back up to 10 or the first level over here, which is about 650. So around 650 is probably the first big resistance. But yeah, I like it. It's closed above. I mean, if you like these types of momentum-based trades and you're happy to jump in after a 22% move, I think I would go and understand why that happened. And then I would say, okay, yes, it's strong technically. Yes, things are looking much, much better on this stock, but why did that happen? It has to be something that you believe can have follow-on price momentum due to the story being good and price packing in. Think about, can price pack in over time? Really important fact. We also have another question coming in from the private community. I'm just going to quickly do that for this gentleman because I said I would. Let me just quickly bring this up. MGA. MGA. This is for you, Dav G. And what do you think it's doing here? Is it basing? His question was. Yes, it certainly is basing. No increased volume, which isn't necessarily a positive thing, but that's okay. It is basing here. What he means by basing is, has it started doing maybe like a channel or something like that? And I would definitely think, yes, this stock has begun doing a channel. Let's move to the trend line thought process. Perfect. We know where the recovery is going to be. We've got good support. We probably need to jump into the 4-hour here, understand the price action better. Perfect. We get very clear resistance here. That's the type of thing we want. Yeah, I like this stock. Obviously, we're looking for a full recovery play, so we needed to get through all these series of lower peaks. We want it to close above there, retest, and then take. That's a scaling opportunity, and you're looking for what we call here, obviously, I've forgotten the word here. Basically, we're looking for it to repair itself. So we're looking for the repair. Going through the series of lower peaks is the beginning of repair, and the base formation is repair. Look for breakout with volume spiking. That will always be a stronger signal for you. Good luck on that one. All right, guys, we have a lot to go through here. So the markets are up after that CPI data. You can see 0.22%, 0.27 on the US 500, 100. Both are at roll reversal, so they're at the resistance coming into the open. I would tend to think they stay within this 5 to 10 point range coming into the open. So we're less than an hour away from that now. I tend to think they will stick in this area. It's about right for them to stay around here. Okay. Let's move over to gold. Someone said they got smashed on it. I assume they accidentally shorted it. So if you're doing a news-based short, well, that's dangerous, but you have to practice scaling because really, yes, we know this is a huge support. We also know, it also could be that you had a buy and your stop was underneath this and you got stopped out. News generally leads to stop hunts. In fact, if this full reverses here and creates some kind of really nice big bullish hammer, this can often be the beginning of a full reversal and a movement up. Remember, stop hunts are a great sign, especially if it ends up being a reversal of a strong market that's going to go in the opposite direction. That is a classic hit and run. And if it solidifies itself, we know the key level, 1802. And we break through that, of course, at 1820, 1830. Any closure underneath this 17 kind of 82 zone, we believe that's weak for, of course, gold. And we're thinking 1760. But this is no closure. This is just a spike that happened off news. Unfortunate, but it is one of those things that does happen. Dollar index also took a small dump in terms of a little bit of weakness there. Probably no surprises here either. You did have that big pin bar, shooting star style candle, and of course, weakness ensuing from the next point. So the market is very tough. I got to say it's tough right now. When you have very unknown direction, you have, let's say, a resistance and a support war zone, which is pretty much what's happening right now between the bulls and the bears. It can be a little bit tough to read. And again, if you're shorting, what do we say here on the channel, guys? If you short, what do we say? Chat, let me know. Let's see if anyone remembers what we're talking about. People still talking about uranium. I'm really surprised everyone's talking about uranium. We were on that thing last week, thanks to the super chats. We had some great uraniums. FX worldwide. I've been long uranium for a month and doubled down yesterday. I don't think there's any problem with averaging into your investment there, FX. We've liked uranium for a little while. And I think there is more that can happen with it, but I'm just interested that everybody's now talking about it. Notice how you have that mega move and then everyone talks about it and then you get that extra move. That's the beauty of it. And then it crescendos. And when it crescendos, you need to start thinking about scaling off because you end up having like that 40, 50% move incredibly quickly. In and out quick, Aussie Cobber, 71. In and out quick. Absolutely, Aussie. That's the way. With the shorts, in and out quick. Julia also says that. And a whole bunch of you other guys said the same thing. You got to be fast. You got to be nimble. You got to be quick because nasty Wall Street, they're coming for your dollars. Silver, very similar to gold, guys. If you're looking at this, whatever gold ends up doing, if it breaks through key zones, silver will inevitably follow. However, I don't really like silver until we're back above the 2420 and we're getting through this trend line down. If you draw that yourself, it'll be a little bit better. Very, very good. Ulrich Nielsen, DKK, $50, says, hey, Tom, please have a look at SLCA. I'm seeing a massive upside potential in this one. Sand is scarce resource and used for making the computer chips. A scarce resource, you say, sand. We have quite a lot of it in Australia. I haven't seen it in a while, guys. I haven't seen the sand in a while. Actually, that's not true. I kind of live near the beach, but you know what I mean? In Melbourne, we don't get to see the sand anymore. It's very, very tough for people here, unfortunately. Now, let's have a look at this SLCA. I don't mind what you're looking at here, Ulrich. Ulrich's been pretty good at finding some good ones. He's had Penn. He's had a few other quality stocks that have been found recently. I assume this is the one. This is Silica Holdings. Big volume coming into it, 9.39%. Strong move. It's got that big consolidation, that final sell-off that causes the hope and the despair. That's the what was the theory that someone had for it yesterday? I forgot the wording for it. But yes, this is a classic case of just pushing that market a little bit too much. Then we've got the recovery, we've got the pullback, we've got the long leg doji, we have the decision made, and we've almost got a new peak. So we have trough, peak, higher trough, higher peak coming through. I like that. That's cool. This is not bad. How big is it? 621 million. 621 million. Let's take a look at the weekly. It's valid. Weakness for most of the year in the minerals. That's pretty consistent across the board. Where was it back in 2019? Okay. A little bit higher. Coming into the pandemic, it was quite a lot lower. I'll add it to the list and we'll keep watching it. There we go. Everyone having a good chat over there. Quality sand is indeed rare, says Soto Cine. Hey, look, if property is expensive, why can't our quality sand be expensive? Is that right? Fink at 79 says he's right. For silicon, high quality sand is scarce. AF. I'm not going to say what that means. Remember, guys, as well, click the Discord link in the comments if you're interested in coming into the Discord. Some good banter, some good discussion going in the public rooms. And if you ever want to join the private rooms, of course, 7-day free trial totally available. All right, markets now steadying right around that resistance. US 500 best chart to watch at the moment. And when it moves down, the rest of the market will obviously move. We have already covered this one. Let's have a look at the crypto world. Let's take a look at crypto. So I want to discuss the elephant in the room firstly. Let's bring up LTC. Bit of a joke, I would have to say. This type of move probably has put a bit of a hold on LTC's movement. It's hurt confidence. Isn't it interesting how some of the other cryptos right now, KSM, Bitcoin, Ethereum, slightly moving up, Litecoin cannot move at all. And I just think that's really consistent with the fact that you've hurt confidence after that Walmart fake news story. Big boom, big bust. Someone had a fantastic meme for this. Let me bring it up. It's pretty good. Here we go. What do you think of that one? Oh, I hope no one got burned to that. Litecoin's so trash. Don't dislike if you like Litecoin. I'm sorry. It's older technology, okay? It's older technology. LTC was horrible, says Sherlock Holmes. That's pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Here are the markets. That's the way they looked just before. Let's move over. Where's my volume profile? There we go. Okay. Let's look through some markets. We'll take some chat here. Thank you again, Ulrich Nielsen. What are you guys thinking about? Let's see what you've already said here. mRNA price movements. Tom, share your comments on big. All right, we'll check that out in a second. Let's think about Tesla first. That was an amazing recovery, wasn't it, in terms of the daily? And now we're at that convoluted thing. Price action on the daily looks beautiful still. It's come off that very nice 726. We got a full response back. We do want follow through. If the market does go bullish, we'd hope it has that follow through. And at this stage, we've got the most confusing looking 2 weeklies if they close like this. It's basically a 2-week long leg doji. So we have that pin bar rejection, or shooting star as it's known, and now we've got the full rejection up. Very confusing. I still like the upside more than the downside here in Tesla, just because the price action has been fairly strong the last couple of weeks, and we have enjoyed that. It's kind of similar to AMC. That's been very, very good. AMC hit the resistance yesterday. I'll just show you guys where it was, because it's a good lesson in high quality TA. I think this has been very consistently good. We've had great consistency off that 40 after the pullback occurred. We saw it move back up to the resistance, beautiful resistance. We saw it hold this level, which we had already in the line. We trapped that in. We moved back up to the resistance. We had the long leg doji. We closed above, and then we hit the level. There's some great trades there. If you've been following the stream for the last 2 weeks, would you agree, guys, that AMC, regardless of your thoughts about it, I don't care about the short stock squeeze. I don't care about any of that. I just care about the price action. Would you agree that it's been not bad? Come with me, guys. Has it been not bad? Closure above here, long leg doji. We know that means decision made, and we would like to therefore see it back into the 58.60 range. Obviously, trade at your own discretion. There are huge risks in a stock like this, and these are just technical zones. Let's have a look at BBIG while we wait for your response. BBIG, and then we'll get back into the crypto world. My thoughts here is nothing that interesting. Weekly. I mean, it's holding better than you would expect. It's on the support, but you do not want it underneath here. No. No lower than this, all right? No lower than this. Otherwise, you're talking $8 land. You can see the volume profile very strong at $8. Lots of trade chop there, and a lot of trade chop at 11 from the volume profile standpoint. I don't want it underneath here. It closed underneath here. Back to 8 we go on BBIG. Not probably my favored, and it's been relatively poor, I think, technically. Even though I know it's gone up, this is very hard to navigate without just basically putting buy, sell, unless you're on a 5-minute or 15-minute chart. These time frames aren't going to help you. Pet Brett says it's been good for me. Victor Lau says behaving as it should. Yes. And then Monica Nakamura says Disney movies all opening in theaters rest of 2021. Probably not in Australia, but yes, everywhere else, Monica, I'm sure they have been. And ACK goes AMC not bad. Lieutenant Dan says better than GME. GME quite ugly. Yes, indeed, quite ugly. Let's get the volume profile on something with some moving averages here. By the way, I'm just using these two. Super simple. You can actually use these pretty well. So if you want to have a look at a certain range instead of what you're looking at on the screen, you can bring up a little profile here and see your ranges. We will do a full video on this one day when you guys are interested. James Gale says, what in the world is going on with the Chinese Evergrande or Evergrande or however we say it yesterday? First time I've ever heard of it. Look, it's like Giant Lehman, except we live in the world of bailouts. My belief, the Chinese government will punish certain areas and bail certain areas. I do not believe it is the second reckoning of the markets. I could be wrong, but I do not believe it will be. And therefore, we ignore it, which is ridiculous. But hey, we've been ignoring Japanese bonds for a long time, guys. Japanese bond market, mostly owned by the government or the central bank. In fact, liquidity is drying up because they own so much of it. Want to look into it? Look more. Want to know more weird things? Why does Sweden constantly buy US stocks? To devalue its own currency. Very fantastic. There is a lot of wild things in the world right now. And you know what you do? You just chop it out like butter. Like, goodbye. Because ultimately, optimism pays until it really doesn't. And then you were never going to call that anyway. No one will ever call, well, someone will call it the next, Great Depression or something. But they would be someone that's been calling it for 15 years straight. And they'll be like, see, I told you so. I told you so, guys. I'm big brain. And you say, well, how much you make from it, bro? Well, I lost my entire fortune shorting the market for 15 years, so I only had $10 at the end. But I told you so on Bloomberg.com, or whatever TV station they go on to talk about it. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Incredibly good chart, this. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Even though the hideous candle happened, we'll call that a Litecoin disaster, it took out, no doubt, many people's stops. Now we're rallying very strongly. We're going to hopefully get a closure above this 46,000 level. We move towards the 47.5 level. And once we close above the 47.5, we can do the recovery dance because I feel like at that point, we've got some maximum extraction. Remember, there was no point for Bitcoin to go this low yesterday. It went lower than it should have. I believe this is a maximum extraction point. What do you guys think? Is that maximum extraction? I feel like it is. YouTube user. Very anonymous there. Love the show, Tom. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for you guys. Upvote if you enjoy the show. Thank you for 1,061 people coming in here. Do you think we'll have a pullback on the Mac? On Mac. What is Mac? What are we talking about? Pullback on Mac. If so, when would you expect it? Probably being stupid, but you can tell me what that is. Maybe it's a stock or something. FX Worldwide, $15. We'll give you a clap. Thank you very much, FX Worldwide. Appreciate it, man. Much respect, Tom. Take a look at the Oz Lithium Miner, please. Which one? Oh, PLS. Sorry. PLS. Pilbara Minerals. It's got a very Australian name, doesn't it? Yep, looks fine. Again, a decent chart here. The ASX metals all been doing better, and ASX just miners have been doing better. Let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, I think this has got good recovery. That type of candle gets me a little bit excited about the market. It's got some nice consolidation. It has made, I believe, a nice closure out here. It's one of those first steps of recovery steps we talk about. Let's take a look at the weekly. Closure above a negative candle. Like to see it hold this week. That would again be a relatively positive sign. And the stock itself is worth $6 billion, which is pretty high. What a trade it's been from 50 cents up to 226. Be a little careful in miners, guys. We're from Australia. We understand that red dirt is worth money, but it has big booms and big busts. I think at these levels, it is less investable than it used to be. It's more of a trade. Let's just call it that. Not many miners end up becoming worth FMG, Rio, BHP. Most of them go up a lot and then they blow off. So right now, the price action is looking much stronger. Much, much stronger. Mac is a mall stock. Oh, is it? Let's have a look. Mac. Real Estate Investment Trust. Oh, it is. Dead industries. Eventually dead industries. Yeah, I don't know about mall stocks. They'll have a resurgence that looks like a sugar rush, that looks like growth. They probably will come through. They'll be indebted. But again, does anyone seem to care about that? No, not in this current market. I do like the trend line that's come through here. It's a nice trend line. I like the way it's role reversaled off this line we obviously already had up here. I like that resistance. I like this level a lot. Hey, with soothsayers, guys, because we had MAC resistance, no doubt, drawn through here, or maybe it's just off the low. I don't know. It is looking much, much better. Let's go to the week daily. Yeah, that's nice consolidation at the top. Great kind of final test to extract maximum money. Long leg doji, bullish buy. I like that closure, actually. It's pretty good, dude, but it's weird. But it's pretty good. Maybe I'll watch it. Mac. Nice. Thank you very much again to FX Worldwide. That lithium was pretty decent. Okay, what else we got here? BTC is the talk for SEC Fed Roadmap Weekly. Well, yeah. I mean, the market, obviously the people don't seem to care. They're just buying it up. I don't really think about that news too much. What will be, will be. You cannot predict which way it ends up going. You've just got to follow that price action. Of course, Bitcoin 47.5 will be the key zone. Just like Ethereum will be around 35.50. 35.50. And ADA certainly lost a lot of steam, hasn't it? I can remember only a few weeks ago. It's the best coin, Tom. It's the best. Well, it's not the best right now. It's like Solana. Is Solana the best right now? I haven't actually looked at it. I like ADA, by the way, full disclosure. I like DOT. I like KSM. I like ADA. I like a few other weird networks. Karura, Akala, which are basically DOT, DeFi, DeFi or DeFi. Let's have a look at the Solana. How's this going? Is it turning into a Matic? Kind of. It's looking Matic-licious. Matic-licious right now. What Wheat G Van Dyke? Oh my goodness, that is a tough name. Thank you very much. $10. Can you take a look at Bitcoin SV? Bitcoin SV. Is that like a, what is this? Like a wrapped Bitcoin or something? Bitcoin SV. Okay, I can look at it technically. Oh, it's kind of horrible, man. And what's it been do? It's do nothing. It has like random pumps and dumps. If this is the one you're talking about, BSV, yeah? Is this just one of those splits that happened? I don't like the split coins most of the time from Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't think there's much price action here. I mean, is it on a base? Sure. Is the resistance up here important for participation? Absolutely. That $200 is fairly important. 195, 200. But yeah, it's not what I would call like fantastic. Let's have a look. One of my mods is sending me some stuff. Oh, don't worry. The mod's sending me the wrong thing. So I think this is it. Ed Al says, yes, ADA is sleeping. ADA is sleeping for now. It'll come back. Brandon Smart says you can hit the like button in gentle manner, guys. No. You just got to smash it, Brandon. Just smash. Like smashing the keyboard when you're angry after a bad trade, you know? You've got to get it out on a watermelon. I'm telling you, watermelons are the key. This Bitcoin SV, I am not a fan, unfortunately, but thank you very much for the $10. I don't know what time frame you're liking or in particular. Might need to give me more info. Maybe 160 as well would be a key level if it breaks past that. Previous support, previous resistance, some nice recovery coming through there. Thank you very much for the donation. Brady, Australian $2. Thoughts on long-term holding TQQQ downside decay? So TQQQ, that is the ProShares Ultra Pro Q thing. And this is, if I remember rightly, the leveraged fund. Is that correct? Is it the leveraged fund? Someone just tell me. We don't trade these in Australia, guys. Just remember that. So I just want to make sure this is the leverage one. Let's just make sure of that. Scott Morgan says, Tom Beam, please. We will do that very, very soon. Absolutely. No worries. BSV. Make sure I did get the right crypto. I did get the right crypto, but it looks a little bit different. Okay. Just above 156. 160 still. 160. I prefer that. If you want to get frisky, 156, 160. These are the two resistances, and also draw your trend line through these points. That'll be pretty important. Three times QQQ. Okay, cool. So does anyone actually know, and I would read the report. I haven't done it for this one because we don't buy it here in Australia. What's the interest rate on the leverage loan? Anyone know? I want to know the interest rate, guys, because I also want to know how they're leveraged exactly. What's their parameter when things go bad? What is their parameter when things go bad? Do they downscale themselves? Usually they have a parameter. So it's like between 50 and 65% holdings. So they'll generally be in a 5% parameter for the 3X on the leverage. They'll have a rate. And then as the market falls, they will sell a portion or buy extra portions on the way down. There's a strategy in there, even though it's robotic. Balanced at close only. Okay. Cold hard cash. Futures 3X. Perfect. 3%? That's a ripoff. That's probably why it looks like quite clean as well. That's probably why it looks quite clean. I don't mind the ones that balance if they do it correctly. 3% is pretty expensive. I usually expect it under 2. There's probably some other ones you might want to look at. Donkin Dave says it's 0.95%. Oh, okay. Expense ratio. That's pretty cheap. Yeah, that's more like it. I got no problems with these funds, but remember they are 3x leverage. Therefore, especially like the Nasdaq, when things get brutal, they can get brutal. When they go up, they can go up quite well. I like them, but manage them at your own risk. Just use your TA on the US 100, not on this, because the chart can look very different because there is a little bit of decay in there. Good luck, sir. Do not do your analysis on this chart. It's lame. You got to do the analysis on the US 100 itself. Thank you to the 1,086 viewers as well. Smashing that like button. Appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoy the stream. Bradley B, $5. Loving the adjustments in the show, changes to chart of the day, and just the overall extra content in the private Discord. No worries, Bradley. Yes, we do try to cover a little bit extra stuff there. And hopefully we have some big announcements for the private and public rooms moving forward. We're always trying to add extra value. If you guys know of a tool that's great in Discord, even if it's a paid service that I can add for paid members and therefore combine it together as well, let me know. Hey, I'm always open for new ideas. Why not? Got Bitbird 1.8 in the house. I second Tesco. Look, Bitbird, because you helped me out before with some stuff, I will do now. TSCO, I assume you mean Tesco. Not that tractor company I looked at last time. Look, food retail is good and all, but it is slow. And it is not really the time that you would generally buy these types of companies. You have an amazing resistance at 260. You have it ramping up into this. Great buys of 249. That was a fantastic buy. If you got that 249 previous resistance becomes support. Once it closes above this level, you'd expect it to go to 266. It's not as fun as, I guess, one of the American stocks. It's slow and it is the wrong time in the cycle, technically, to be buying these. The right time in the cycle is usually late cycle. So what I mean by that is, even though this didn't perform, oh yeah, it did perform okay. So see how in that last couple of years it had a little bit better performance? It tends to do well there. If we look at it out of the GFC, this thing must have been in the doldrums for a long time. Maybe they're turning their business around. Looks horrible across the board. I'm surprised consumer staple was this bad. But yeah, 260 to 266. Breakout past this is a massive deal for this stock. It's been so long. Good luck. Cold hard cash. Please look at the SP 500. Thank you. We've done it quite a few times. 44.85, 44.90 being the resistance. It happened straight after CPI, and we fully expected that the market would find some resistance there. The fight between the bulls and the bears happens in this range. If you want to draw the range up, let me do it with you right now. Rectangular. Right around here, guys. Probably put it down to about 85 and that 4,500 level. This is the range that you expect either boom, 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 or it goes boom, boom, and then, of course, down further. Break underneath this will also be important for the session, which is around 44.65. Miss Super Chat, Alpha T says, don't worry, the mods have got you. Alpha T, $2. CPI UK hasn't recovered, but is coming to $1 again. So this is a UK stock. Remember, the same things we cover on these stocks will happen. This is not the one. CPI. Huh. Which code is it, bro? Shouldn't it be this one? Coming to $1 again. Dave, can you pick it up when he says it, when Alpha T says it, and I'll find the other one. He'll have to tell me. How'd you draw the box? All you do is just grab the tool over here. So you grab this little tool here, you go down underneath brush, pick up rectangle, and create the box. And you can also change the color and all those types of things. I like creating boxes because the thing is then you can create a range. A lot of traders fall into the trap of, and someone in the chat will attest to this, I want this price. It has to be this price. It's dead, and then they're not flexible and they end up missing out on the trade. How many of you guys have missed out on the trade due to that? I'm sure quite a few of you. It's about time for our rapid capita, Alpha T says. Okay. Capita. So it is this. I don't know why he said dollar then. Yeah, basically, if you've done that before, use boxes, figure out like a trade system within that range that you're looking for the turnaround, and then you'll be able to have more effective entries. Also, if you're not feeling the confidence, scale into the order. Scale, 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 scale. Scaling will save lives, I'm telling you. Scaling is the key. And many people in the chat, again, will let you know that. Scaling is good. If this is the stock, Capita, that we're looking at here, it's at roll reversal right now on the 15 minutes. Take a look at the daily. Daily has been smashing off the resistance, $51. Got beautiful support down here, about 47. Very cool. Great range. I would say that is fair to be called almost a channel. So upon breakout, you expect this distance. Look at this mega channel. Wow, that's a mega channel. My goodness. It's a serious resistance, isn't it? And that's a serious consolidation below the breakout. I think this could be setting up, man. It could be. This is the type of thing. I'd probably wait for the breakout to occur. But if the breakout happens on the daily, then the weekly confirms, then maybe the monthly confirms as well. There could be some great upside here in terms of rally. $823 million company. We've also got one. Brett C, Australian $5. Thoughts on ASX NIC? Thanks, bud. All right, let's have a quick look at that one, and then we'll do the speed check over of all our favorite stocks. By the way, if you guys want to vote for something that we do not have in the watch list that we cover every day, spam it in the chat now. Mods, let them spam. And if there's something, please, mods, pick it up. If there's something that's coming up a lot and it's not there currently, just let me know a few of them and we'll start to cover those stocks. Whatever you guys want. I'll cover whatever the people want. Support here, 96.15, 96.5. It's moving well. I like the support a lot. Let's take a look at the weekly. I think we've talked about this stock before for you. We hoped it held here. It has, which is good. It's about to break past that rejection, which we know is about $1.10. I probably want it above $1.10. I think that's a significant big movement here for this. You can kind of tell it. $1.10. Oh, yeah. And then we should be able to go on with the goods. That was a false break. So you're looking at like scale here, scale above here, and take it up to the resistance. It's nice structure. Nothing problematic on those types of things. Looks good. Amazon is covered. Don't worry. H-bar. What is that? Moderna, T-Doc. There's quite a few coming in. All right, you guys will figure it out. Thank you very much, Brett C. Let's begin with all of the stocks. Again, markets coming into resistance ahead of the market open. S&P 500, Nasdaq, all hitting resistance points. Square bounced off the 200 daily yesterday. So it came down, hit the 200 daily, about 240, bounced back up, and now it's up in the pre-market. I can tell you there's been a bunch of options open around 280 for calls later on, I think early next year, which is interesting. This is the key zone for it. I'm still not a huge fan of the price action here, but if you like it, it's much better price than it was a few weeks ago. Nothing really great, reaching out to me there though. Apple continues to be relatively weak. Let's just go to the 1 hour so I can show you the important levels. Check this out. If Apple breaks underneath here, I think the rest of the market drops as well. I'm serious. Apple down under here. Now, it's a big day for Apple, guys. We have the new iPhones, which I can tell you will be absolutely boring iPhones. Next year is where they get fun. Remember, this is the last year they introduced the new phone that was kind of cool. This year's the boring year and nothing happens. And then the year after, I think it's like 120 hertz. That's all that matters. That's all they care about right now, which every other phone probably has had for a while. So, yeah, we're trapped in a range here between Apple 150.55, closure above should signify some bullish action. Closure below 148.72, I think is actually a very key area. I'd be watching that like a hawk. Amazon, let's take a look at this on the daily. If you like Amazon, I still think it's very fairly priced when we consider where it was last year. We're getting September prices right now. I like it anywhere in this kind of box structure towards the upside. It's not amazing. It's not really, really bad. So, yeah, price action is in the middle of nowhere at this stage. Big support around 3,400. Google, 20 moving average, long leg doji. We know how it goes. Underneath this, sell off to the 50, above the daily, above that daily long leg doji, continue to the new peak. We'll find out what ends up happening there through the session. End phase, it's trying its best to hold around this level. I don't like the price action currently. I prefer it above here, and then it would be putting in a nice low, and we can take it long for some nice participation. Currently cannot do that, unfortunately. I feel that's the way I look at it. Microsoft looks overall weak to me. Underneath the 20, I don't particularly like that. ARK-K, I wouldn't do technical analysis on ARK-K or ARK-G. ARK-G back down. Let's take a look at Beam. Beam went to 101. That is not a good close for it. Not a good close for it. It is at the previous little bit of resistance support, but the trend line got broken down. Let's look at that for the 2 hour. Unfortunately, all biotech down at the moment. You guys know I love biotech, but I don't really trade biotech so much. I just kind of like hodl it because it's pretty risky. And yeah, this breakout up here was failure, massive failure. Support. I hope today is a nice green day for it. It's time. If it's going to turn, it wants to do it here. Let's keep going through. Have we seen anything good yet? Not really. Edit, whatever. It's kind of just hovering in the zone. CRISPR still looking for a 128 plus break. Splunk. Now that fell off yesterday, 1.9%. This is a good zone for Splunk. Previous resistances, acts as support. It's got good upside potential. And we know it's got that massive inverse head and shoulders on it. So there's the left, there's the head, there's the right. It's right at that roll reversal. If you like a boomer stock that's slow, Splunk could be a good technical area. Tom, retail trade is so predictable. Is that a Wall Street trap? Yeah, retail traders tend to do very similar things, but you know, you can actually see it this year where Wall Street trapped everybody. I mean, got trapped themselves. Not so much Wall Street, but some hedge funds with the whole AMC debacle. It's really interesting to see how the market's evolving and how fast. And I think also retail traders have a lot more tools. They're educating themselves. They're skilling up. And in many ways, you think about it, obviously the algorithms are smarter than retail traders. But I think you'll find a lot of retail traders are smarter than some people on the decks nowadays. So people in the pits, people working for companies, they ultimately go there, they learn a system, but they just work. They go there, they work the 8 hours a day. They're not that passionate about it. They may work 10, 12 hours a day and they leave. I wouldn't be surprised if retail traders are actually upskilling more than we think. But the FOMO type of stuff, they make so much money off that. It's ridiculous. TDOC still floating around in nowhere land. Baba, unfortunately, still getting bashed around by the government. Baidu, similar kind of story. JD, it's a better stock, but it's still kind of floating with that stuff. Twilio hit support yesterday. So you can see the support here. If you really like this company, that is a decent level, that 330 kind of zone that we talked about. NVIDIA, I'm still waiting for this thing to come down to my red box. I want the red box, 210. Come on, red box. And pins. Interesting. Pins was green in a sea of red. What are you doing, sneaky people out there? Pins was green in a sea of red. Kind of reminds me of Snowflake a few weeks ago. We're looking for a closure above 57.80. Is the recovery coming on this stock? It could certainly be. 8 minutes till the open, guys. We'll keep going here. Roku, still sick. Not much we can do about it. Etsy, still holding that kind of channel range, looking for it to break past 221. Nothing much. DKNG, it's okay because it's come down to a daily 20 and that previous resistance. Not fantastic, but not too bad. Airbnb had a wild day on it. Again, came back down to the 155 area and then bounced off. If you want, you know I hate IPO, but we're being forced to cover this at the moment. If we keep getting that closure above here and movement through, so we just need movement, then we should be able to get a new high and go towards our 180 promised land. That would be good. Intel, this is actually a pretty big deal. I like Intel quite a lot. I feel like it's done a lot of our recovery steps. We've got our levels. We've got our inverse head and shoulders. Bet you no one's talking about Intel. Is any other channel talking about Intel? Anybody out there talking about this? The people missed the watermark. What's this? What watermark? Smash the unlike until watermark. What the hell is the watermark? Did I used to have some watermark on here? Chillax, guys. Tom will see it. What do I see? Oh, this watermark. Sorry, guys. Yes, there we go. I'm telling you what it is. Thank you. Don't worry, it's back. Don't dislike, guys. Come on. That's unfair. Here is the closure above. I don't mind it. It's sick. I know, but I don't mind it. I like it quite a lot. What can I say? John Priestley says, yep, they are calling it old tech. Yeah, I don't really care about the tech. I just care about the price action. That's base, guys. Is that not base? It looks like base to me. It had this sneaky breakout. Jan Lupo will be happy with this. He's been sitting there on Intel for way too long. This smells of the good stuff in terms of just price action is solid. And I'm not telling you to do anything. I don't particularly care. Don't do anything, okay? Do whatever you want to do. But I like the inverse head and shoulders. I like the breakout. I like the story. I like the nasty wick. I like all these things. That makes sense. So even though people hate Intel, we saw on Amazon there were slightly more Intels being sold. Let me just quickly bring up Brady's one here. I will look at H bar for the gentleman that asked too much. Truly Messiah says Intel has too much debt, but truly so many companies have too much debt. Jan Lupo says go INTC. Yeah. Yeah. Josh Screevers says, I love Intel. Brady, Australian $2. XRO thoughts. Do you hold US or ASX stocks long? Both. However, ASX is predominantly what I do with options because it's trade. Options is just a little bit easier in the ASX for my time zone. We'll look at XRO a little bit later. So, yeah, I don't mind this chart. Let's keep going. Spot. Oh, did anyone get this? That's not bad. I didn't get that. Damn, dude. Look at that. Beautiful. Our little level that we've been talking about happened. 237. It's why you have the alerts and you're not dumb like Tom here, who doesn't set the alerts for spot and should have got 237. Damn, dude. Look at this thing. Bam. I hope it now continues on. Very fancy. 2050. I like that. Netflix, waiting for this thing to actually come down. I would not be sad to possibly even pick this thing up back in the 570s and look for turnarounds after that big channel breakout. So we'll keep watching that. Unity, I think, is done. We'll get rid of it. Play. We'll keep watching this one. Whatever. NVAX, still like it. Obviously risky because it's bio, but I still like it. And wait, this isn't NVAX. There's NVAX. I still like it, but it is risky. It's all about the news on this one. It's not even about the price action. It's about the news. PLTR continues to bounce off 25. If you want longer term, if you want that real participation, everyone makes YouTube videos about it. Wait to 27.50 plus close, and then it will get very exciting. Let's have a look at Fudu. Got bashed. Look for 117. Nothing to do about it. PayPal at support here into the open. So right around that level that you hope it finds support, previous resistance, support. This is where PayPal needs to buy up. The one we talked about yesterday did not close above, but I haven't forgotten Zoom. I will continue to watch this one, looking for a closure above. What is this zone? 302. Twitter, disgusting, sick-looking stock. I don't touch with tongs, hot tongs. That's hot tongs. We don't like that. ONCT. I actually don't mind this above 460. Looks okay. That must have been a super chat. 700, which is 10 cent. Government shenanigans. Zillow, double bottoming. Nice. I really, really, really want this thing to get back above $100. 170. Damn. That would be sweet. That would be good. AMC traders, you're looking for the long leg doji to close above. And we've got Michael DH says charge point TA. All right, let's just quickly do zero. Australian stock, just quickly do it. accounting company, incredibly high multiples, one of the only tech companies we've got here. It's pretty expensive, but you're trading it more than investing in it probably at these prices. I like the trend line here. I want it to hold, get above 150.40, and then start to think about it cracking a new high. Watch the trend line. Do not let it get underneath that thing would be the way I'd look at it. And then charge point. I know we're coming up to the open here, guys. Charge point is right on support. If you want better closure aboves, look for it to get above about 23.50, then move towards 26. Right on the support. Big volume last couple of days as well. Actually, that's pretty exciting. I'll put that in the watch list. CHPT. We got to watch that. That's a lot of volume coming in all of a sudden after the earnings. Could be something good coming up here, right around that massive volume profile. Okay, so the market's open. Ding, 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 ding. We're opening US 500 right at the box level 44, basically 90. US 100 opens at 15,522. Boy, that thing can move. Look at that. Just a few hours ago, 15,410, all the way up 110 points, 0.43% up on the core CPI. Tesla at 746 early. And what other greens do we have here? Crypto having a run. Apple up 0.9%. Microsoft up 0.9%. I still don't really like that one. What else is there? PayPal up marginally. And Disney down. And that's pretty much the main ones here. Let's bring up the Webull scanner. Let's bring full screen here. Look at the percentage changes of large stocks. So we have PANW 2.47%, ALB 2.18%, Coinbase up slightly thanks to crypto being up today. Netflix down 1.11, nothing too big a problem there. Nike down as well. Yeah, nothing massive. So S&P is probably the one to watch. Continue watching this level, 4490 zone to 4500. That 10-point range is where we expect weakness to come back in if it is going to occur. Let's go, Tesla. Come on now. Very happy for Tesla, guys. That is some follow-through action on the bullish hammer. That is good-looking price action. Will we reverse? Imagine if we end up reversing that and closing above. Tesla people will go nuts on the internet. I'll have to start making Tesla videos with Tesla comments. That's it. Just Tesla, 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 Tesla. Scott Morgan says down goes Beam. Let's have a look here. Oh, it's only down 1.18%. $100 flat. It's okay. It's all right, Scott. Tom, Nike is pronounced Nikes. Lol. I'm Australian, man. We have we call McDonald's Maccas. We just remember this. In Australian slang, nothing is normal. It's all lazy talk and everything's abbreviated. Just remember that. Everything's abbreviated that makes no sense to Americans. It's pretty bad, really. Pretty bad. I should come over and get a linguist or something from America to teach me the ways of the English. Maccas. Yes, that's right. Brett C says, wow, look at HD1 copper. Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's a strong-ish morning here, but just remember, this is the danger zone. We've got the box of the danger zone. We know that the nasty, speculative Wall Street people will be targeting retail herds, weak minds in the week of the 14th of September, coming into the witching hour, the quad witching day. All right, let me make sure I've got everybody. If I missed any super chats, I do say sorry, but I'm sure you can send one of the mods and I will pick it up tomorrow or now. Docu oversold bounce. Let's have a look at Docu. I haven't checked that out in a while. DocuSign. It kind of looks sick. It's broken all of the beautiful supports. It's like double topped up here. I like DocuSign 240, unfortunately. May not stop, but yeah, back down it comes. Come on now. Back down. Nasdaq coming down slightly now as well. All right, so we've done the charge point. Ulrich Nielsen, DKK, $20. Good or bad that institution owns 70% of a stock? Totally fine. Probably good. It means liquidity is there. When institutions own lots of a stock, there's generally a lot of liquidity. Even though you think, oh, well, they're taking away the liquidity, it's usually there. They have to buy and sell lots during the day to get their ranges right. It's kind of like people say, probably make YouTube videos saying, Kathy Wood sells Tesla. Well, she's probably forced to sell a portion of Tesla due to her holding range. You know, these aren't big bits of news. It's just that people make fake news out of everything, yeah? Here comes the weakness into the market. Right now, red box. Tesla still bucking the trend at this stage, which is cool. Other markets, Square doing quite well, 2.22% up. Apple coming down now. PLTR up 2%. NVAX up 2%. Where is the rest of them? Airbnb. Yeah, it's not too bad a day so far, but it's still early. It's in the retail hour, so we'll find out how this box ends up in the first hour. Dumpy on Twitter. Yeah, I don't like the Twitter chart. Looks nasty. Might be up today, but still looks nasty. Hurry, Hergy HD, $5. Hi, boss. Can we check Project Quantum, ticker symbol Qubit? Sure, man. Sure, man. Ant-Man's got close to my heart. He wants me to check a stock that I kind of hate the company with a passion now. They've ruined everything. Qubit. You want me to rant on ATVI? Is it ATVI? Yeah. Oh, no. Qubit pretty low. This is fairly sick at the moment. No signs of turnaround yet. Right on support, so you're right. You've found like a level that it's bounced previously. But say you got something like this, which is an inverse head and shoulders on the smaller time frame, that's a great pickup. But you don't really want to try to predict it. You just want to wait for the nice pattern and then take it long. Look for nice bouncy points down here, consolidation, put alerts on it, look for it to break above 818. You're probably never going to get the lowest price. But by doing this, you won't be sitting here for like 7 years waiting for it to recover either. Some stocks can wait for a long, long time. No price action there, unfortunately. Unity up 2.3%. That's good. I do think, though, that Unity's coming into that resistance. So let's have a look now at ATVI. What can I say about this absolute former good company that now is complete and utter disgusting trash? It is so disgusting what they have done to their franchises, what they've done to their staff, what they've done to their business, the absolute disdain that they have for the gamer base. I mean, I cannot say anything good about Blizzard Activision anymore. It is a disgusting company. That is how I feel. Why? Because every decision they make is poor. Every decision they make is poor, and it is all about cash grabbing, and they are burning their business into the ground. So that is why their price action is also poor. I really don't like them at the moment, guys. I find that the new Call of Duty is horrible. The Diablo, my favorite game ever, Diablo 2 creation, whatever the hell they're doing to it. They're not allowing mod support. They're kind of half doing it. They're not really they're taking some feedback and not others. I'm pretty disappointed. And the price action looks terrible for it. They've ruined WoW. It's all bad. It's bad. Volume profile is just this. So you've got volume profile here. I will make a video because probably people like it. And I'll explain how good it really is. It's okay. Finken, that is a bit of maybe a massive kind of rant, but yeah, they've really tarnished the game, and they were the best. They were the absolute best provider of games ever for PC, and they've wrecked it. Finken79, they've tarnished their name. People don't seem to be forgetting anymore. I just think they've kind of lost all their good staff, guys. That's my main issue. You're only as good as your coders and your IP, and their coders are going. Ulrich Nielsen, DKK $20. Sorry, $50. Share it, Intel, TSX. Zoom out a bit. I'm seeing a nice bull flag, nice recovery, and it feels like it's getting ready to break out. We'll check it in a second. Brett C says, "Oh God, ATVI mass customer exodus." Yes, I will buy the Diablo game still, but I'm telling you, I am not pre-ordering any games. I'm not buying the Call of Duty. I'm not buying anything from them. They don't deserve your money, guys, right now. They're just nasty. All right. That probably doesn't get me subs, but I will rant about it because it's very upsetting to me personally. I feel like it's just terrible. So this is share it on the TSX. Seems like a lot of you guys agree that they've really ruined their base. I think everyone can see it now. We've known for a long time, but I feel like they've almost done maximum extraction. Last year, I made a video talking about how I liked the company, and I was talking about the bullish momentum that could be happening. And then since every announcement since then, I've just been like, no, I'm gone. I'm done. I'm over. It's over. And then this. Where's the T? Is it INTL? Share it. Let me type in share it. Okay, so you're really looking at a massive bull flag. If you're looking at a bull flag, let's go to the monthly. I like it how you say zoom out a bit, Ulrich. What you actually mean is go to a monthly or weekly chart when you say that. I know that one now. Yeah, so you're looking at this breaking up, having its base formation, and then finding that strength. Let's actually go down to the daily here for a second and understand the price action. That's another one of these very thin stocks, very small, 190 million, low trade on it. It's tough to read. Maybe draw a trend line through there, similar to your pen. Break above this, start scaling in, and then looking for the closure. And then yeah, you've got obviously a lot of blue sky or green sky in front of it. First target 70 cents, then $1.50. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Chronically Sanders says the Tom rants have been great today. I just get so pissed off about that company. I really do. I really do. Kevin Edeloff, $3. Tom, could you take a look at BMY? Thanks. Yeah, we'll do that in a second. Thank you very much, Ulrich, as always, as well, for your support. BMY, let's check it out. Bristol Myers Squibb. The Squibb. We have the resistance. We do not have the closure on the monthly. Let's take a look at the daily here. Oh, the trend line got busted, didn't it? And that caused some sell-off. A beautiful trend line got busted. A few breakouts above. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, that's nasty. Right on the level. So it closes at the high, allows probably an initial scale, doesn't get higher on a closure, fully reverses and goes back down. You're looking at support around, probably around the volume profile actually, which is around here, 61-ish. 61, 60. I kind of feel like it's going there. It's not going to do super damage, I feel, but yeah, that's where you're looking for the sell-off to end. Let's have a look at these markets now. As we suspected, the nasty markets have initially anyway sold off from our red box, US 100 in particular, taking a nasty red box attack. It's a weird week, guys. Quad witching week. Probably a very hard week to be a day trader unless you just short very specific levels or long very specific levels like around these zones. The key zones matter. We've even had a false break downside. Remember that. Break, downside, no follow through. I don't like a market where it doesn't follow through. That sucks. Kevin N says ATVI broke my heart. Agreed. A lot of people in the chat are around that age between 25. I think our big demographics 25 to 45, 50. And most of you guys know Activision, and we all get sad. CCP shutting down gamers in China, Tom. Yeah, I actually looked at that for kids. It's like 1.5 hours during weekdays and 3 hours on the weekend. I don't think it's like obscene. I mean, it's not, I don't agree with it, but it's not obscene. Roy Rodriguez has DAX 30. Let's take a look at the European market. DAX being German for Roy. My goodness, it's done nothing for a long time, hey? That looks so scarily hard to read on my chart right now. Let's clean this up. Let's get rid of everything here. We got to bring it back to basics for the weekly. Long leg doji, gap, trying to fill. So gap down, yeah, on the weekly. God, that's really convoluted. I don't like that chart, man. I mean, it's super convoluted and really tough to trade unless you're on small time frame. I would not trade that on a daily right now. Look at it. This is a 15-minute chart special. Yeah, don't have much on that one, unfortunately. We've done BMY. Dot USD pumping. Love my dot. Love my KSM. KSM. Just from the perspective. I just love scarcity, guys. A little bit of scarcity in KSM makes me happy. If you want to know a bit of a trick to the KSM, should I tell you the trick? I'll tell the community the trick because you're stuck around while I'm ranting. Basically, with KSM, one of the better things to do is look for upcoming parachain auctions. And then if you get good price action coming into that parachain auction before it happens, let's say 3-4 weeks before, you can pick it up, or even 2 weeks before, you can pick it up into that. And then everyone has to buy this for the parachain. So they tend to price spike ahead of those events. Darth Diamond Hands also doesn't like the Blizzard. Rav says EA is worse. They stuffed up so many games for the sake of profit. It's true, but you know the sad thing? I was talking to my friend about this. I hate to say it. I think Blizzard actually have overtaken EA as worse. And I know that EA has cards in FIFA that is literally money grabbing, stealing. But EA is turning it around and making slightly better games, and Blizzard's just coming right back down there. Blizzard Activision coming right back down there. Oh, my goodness. Mitchell Miller. We got to give him a clap, guys. Thank you so much, Mitchell Miller. $25 American, too. That's like $1 million Australian dollars. Hey, Tom, thanks for the quick TA on OINCT. You said you wanted it to come back down to the 20. Now what? OINCT. Is that right? You mean ONCT? OINCT. I have to wait for more information there from him. Chillax says big dot event next month. It'll be buy the rumor, sell the fact. Then that's the best crypto way of doing things. ONCT. Ah. Okay. This one. It is this one. So I said I wanted it to come back to the 20 moving average, yeah? Yeah, this is fine. I don't mind it here. So basically, if you like this stock for whatever reason, you've got your partial recovery, which is, I think, what we drew this line for. So we've got our recovery, we've got our pullback back to a zone that's more fair. And now if you're looking at scaling, this is where you might say, okay, I'm scaling in. We've also got a fantastic long leg doji, and you've got 3 triple resistance up here. So what that means is that you would go down to the smaller time frames, go to the 2 hour. You would bring up a really nice big horizontal line, and you'd basically say, look, I could possibly like it around this zone, but once it gets past here again, it's in that nice level where I think the participation's coming in. We've seen the first level of recovery. We've seen the pullback back to the moving averages. We've got multiple sell-offs here, and we can really put the pressure on if we close through. So I'd be looking a lot at 442. And if you like it in this range, I mean, I think you could do worse. Absolutely, Mitchell. You could do worse. But you've got to make your own decisions. This is just the TA aspects for it, as you know. AAPL puts tanking. Let's have a look. Scroll up. AAPL is 0.42%, so nothing too crazy. Market itself certainly coming through. And Lucian, I've got to say you've been incredibly strong on getting your fiver done. So I'll bring up fiver for you, okay? We have a freebie here. Thank you very much, as always, Mitchell Miller. I hope that helps. Oh, this is not bad. Kind of glad I looked at it. Yeah, man. Nice. Closure above. Very good. You're looking for that first move into 200, second move into filling the gap, 230. It's nice. It's nice. Nice resistance, nice closure. Not bad. No worries, Cody. All good. All right, guys. I'm going to call it a night. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, don't fall into the nasty, nasty traps of Wall Street this week. They are all about maximum extraction. In fact, the more times that they come back up and try to stuff you and then sell off and make new lows, let's say they do that, the more likely it is they're going to go at that 50 exponential and actually smash it through. So remember, there are key zones. It's one of those times where usually you want to be like, oh, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Fair enough. I understand. And if you come back in 6 months, you'll probably be absolutely correct on your quality stock. But from here, we have seen the signs of weakness. We're underneath the 20 exponential. Not a good sign. Generally has led to the 50 being found. So we're looking for that 50. The 50 has been an incredible level. It's hard to bet against the 50, you know. There, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 50 is incredible. But if the 50 breaks, we know we're looking at deeper pullbacks. We've talked about the puts in November. We've talked about the puts in October. We know where they are. We also know that there tends to be that 3 to 4 days of weakness into the third week of expiry options. And then the next week could go well. I'm still incredibly optimistic about the markets. And as per usual, I will leave you with this little tidbit of information, which I spam every day, which is that although we've been in a win streak and we may go into 1 or 2 months of slight weakness, just remember the stats are in your favor for optimism. 6 months after that happens, 92.9% of the time, the market is up, and it is up a factor of 7.9%. So should you be scared? I don't believe it's scary. I just think you need to be prepared with a little bit of powder and follow through with whatever your plan may be. Find your favorite stocks and then stick with the plan. PLTR up at 26.67 today. I hope you guys can get to your 27.30. Mixed markets for the Tuesday for CPI. It's going to be a very fascinating week. Thanks so much, guys. Catch you later and have a great session. Bye for now. Remember also join the public Discord, link in the description and on the right-hand side. Bye for now.